Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another casted game on the ladder. Today we've got Mitoe taking on Optimus Prime. This is great to see Mitoe back on the ladder after a long period of inactivity. He's come back out of hibernation for the Esoc Premier League 4, which has just been, with the auction just been completed today. Mitoe being drafted for the was it Boomers? Yeah, drafted for the Boomers under team management Prince, with Optimus Prime drafted for the Hudson Bay Bigs. Yeah, I'm getting confused with the team name. And both these players are looking to get some extra practice in before the tournament starts. Mitoe, having played, I looked at his match history recently, must have been playing about 30 games previously before this, so he's certainly in practice in terms of mechanics and APM. Might be a bit of out of the clue in terms of how matchups and meta go. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to the current meta ahead of this tournament. His opponent for this game, Optimus, he's currently playing Spain. Very strong player, very well renowned. We always refer to him as Optimus Magic because we never quite know what Optimus is up to. One of the build orders I've seen Opti go for Spain quite often over and over again is a prolonged second age with plenty of cards. Actually, looking at this deck here, we might see that a case again. 5 Vils, 5 crate cards, and the House of Trastamara for the potential cheaper and faster age up. So Optimus may be going for a Huss semi, Huss with bow pike support. Anything Optimus could do here. The game's kind of at his play if he wants to go for that. Early treasures here. We did see the Dutch getting a really good early experience points treasure. Getting that 3 Vils in at a really nice time. 50 coin, always nice there for Dutch. Just about not going to help his age up, because he's already got all the merchants in. Noticing that he's gone for an early market here as Dutch hunting dogs as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the hoodie market. I feel that investing 200 resources into 10% food for 14 Vils while you're aging and during age 1, it's just not... It just doesn't pay off as well as you'd hope it for. It does have some advantages later in the build that you can get an earlier steel traps, which I've seen Mitoe do. So the age up will come in. Yeah, he's going for the Quartermaster here. I was thinking for a second he might have delayed it for the logistician for the 900 food age up, but no, he will bank and he will send his fill out to herd behind this. Looking at Mitoe's deck, still the same deck as the last game we spectated. Both gold and food crates there. No musketeers or highwaymen in the second age, third age. No Bosniaks or Habsburgs. Just standard cards there for Mitoe. In the fourth age, having 2 heavy cannons, 1 age 1 bank cards, and Nerva units. And Optimus Magic is striking again. Optimus Prime going for a dock on Dnipier River, which is just a river with a couple of fish in here. It's about 5,000, 6,000 fish worth. So, yeah, it's about 6,000 or 7,000. It's not too much fish. There's no whales here. There's only a food income that Optimus Prime can be working for. He's found quite a lot of cows as well. 5 cows in total, very nice. He's actually aging up here with the Naturalist, which I'm kind of expected to see there. The Naturalist here is going to be 2 fattened cows of 200 food and 2 villagers. So Optimus Prime going for a very boomy playstyle here into Mitoe. He will need to actually get a livestock pen to get those cows really fattened. And I'm a little bit confused by this because he's got a dock to boom to get lots of food from the water, but he's also got cows to boom to get a lot of food from the land. So there's a lot of potential food here from Optimus to, explode into the next age, but all his wood he has to gather up, all his gold he has to gather up normally. It's going to take a while. Yeah, there's 7 cows moving across. He's going to need to get a livestock pen, which I think he's going to put down now. He's getting that into position ready. Yep, livestock pen being thrown down in the back there. Dog moves in, scouts Mitoe. What does Optimus see? Sees bank, sees market. Doesn't see anything else standing out the ordinary from Mitoe's point of view. Looking at Mitoe's point of view, 700 wood card. One does get bank on the 400 wood. Keeps his field production. Starting to herd in the remainder of these hunts, which is good to see. Will we see a potential another bank stable play, maybe a 3-bank FF and try and get up. Spain is well known for being super aggressive into Dutch, but obviously here, OptimusPrime, with the in-base dock, with the Naturus age up, scouted here by the Envoy. Important to know that the Envoy has scouted a defensive church, livestock pen at the back of the base. He knows that Spain is not going aggressive here. There might be a stable at some point with some hussars, but I think what Mitoe's point of view is thinking is like, how much greed can I go? And he's going to go for his 3rd bank while building the 4th. There's the house down. Leaves him with 200 wood remaining to decide how he wants to spend that. And most time in this build order, you go for either the barracks or the stable. Mitoe, there's no reason for him to not go for like a trading post here or some sort, or invest that wood back into some more economy. I see a little bit of trade in here. He's going for the church. He's going for the XP trickle. His explorer is a little bit away from the TP, and that's why the church is also very protected. Not looking to go for place mines. I was kind of expecting maybe a 5th bank there from Mitoe, in the sense that he's seen that Spain is not going aggressive. He's going for an economic build, and Mitoe could kind of incorporate that into his own playstyle and try and make the most of this rather relaxed age up, well, 2nd age here from both players. Look at the size of these cows now. Oh, that one's just plumped up a little bit. Oh, they're all just plumped up a little bit because they've all got more than 250 food. 340 for the 2 age up cows, and from OptimusPrime's point of view, he doesn't actually have a huge amount of food, so he's going to trade a batch of hussars here to get a bit of raiding done. He's going to use the coin to get, well, I'm about to say he's going to use the coin to age up. He's got a Rodolero in queue as well. If he ever wants to age up, he can eat the cows quite nicely. So I'll be interested to see if there's just pivot raiding forces, or actually Optimus wants to stay in H2 a little bit longer and go for a mass of both Rodolero and hussars. Just the 3 hussars to raid. Did cancel Rodoleros, and I think he'll be looking for one of these cows to eat. 2 of them will come across surely to be well, actually he doesn't need to at this moment. It's that close. A couple of idle vills. The only problem that Mitoe may potentially face is a revolt here from Spain, because Spain having all this extra food ready to go actually help him get to the 4th age and then into the revolt as soon as possible. Train age 4 or those death hussars if he goes Chile, or maybe another revolt. It's an option. But I think when you're sat back playing... Oh, is that a spy? Oh, that's a spy there from OptimusPrime. Moving in just to punch down the Explorer. I don't really know why there's a spy versus Dutch. I don't think the Dutch Explorer is that much of a big target. Nice blockage there from Hussar. The Vils do manage to get back into the town centre to live and fight for another day. So OptimusPrime now aging up with the Scout. Evson's been trained here from the trading post. That was something I was not expecting to see. Evzone does have the ability to allow a 2nd battleship to be constructed and having dock work rate, but I'm not expecting to see any battleship shenanigans from OptimusPrime. Would actually require a dock being sent on this side of the river for a battleship to start sieging the town from the river, but I think the range here is a bit too big. Oh, Mitoe, the cheeky boy, going for pivots, Stradiots on the age up, so sending an advanced church as pivots to get up. Now early Stradiots across the map. So this is the only benefit versus Bosniaks is like a really early timing on this strong mercenary cavalry. But the thing is, there's a spy, there's some Rodoleros with 40% melee resist, there's some Huss as well. Like, it's a good incentive and push, but it's not going to get super much done. And the spy's not seeing. Where's the spy? The spy's chasing the Explorer. Oh no! Kill the mercenaries. Okay, Strike's looking for a raid. They will get a nice raid here actually. But no, Spy's just going one bang the Explorer and now get onto the Stradiots auto attack. And yeah, although some nice rain down there, and 2 Vils do go down, Minutemen being caught. The rest of the strats will go down, looks like, or at least get exchanged off. That Spy's doing massive damage, nearly killing the whole Stradiot by itself. So overall, yeah, damage was done, but was it the damage needed for such an investment? Those cows are now plumped up and ready to get eaten. It is worth considering, but there's no 1,000 gold here for OptimusPrime, so he might be overdoing it on the food pretty quickly. We see 1,000 wood into Marvelous Year coming from behind. No Hacienda play available. I don't think OptimusPrime has too much. A couple of fishing boats. No gill nets here for these boats, so they are just tier 1. No upgrades. But it's only a small amount of food, and comparing the income of that compared to the income of the cows and how much food these villagers gather from that, it's not really... Feels like the fishing boats are not really reaping the rewards that they really want to. Mitoe's still trying to raid with the Stradiots. He's going to the 4th age. I think that's what the Strats were there for, was just to be distracting, buying time. But Mitoe's going to the 4th age, going for potential fast industrial musketeers with the heavy cannon timing. The thing is, that is very, very strong, but you know, with a big economy that OptimusPrime is going for here, and potential delaying tactics with a town centre, couple coves, and then we're at it. What was spies being trained here from OptimusPrime just to try and slow down any further mercenary play? Maybe Optimus not reading the situation correctly, thinking more mercenaries are going to be coming in. However, I believe Mitoe's just going for church-based units and not specifically investing into mercenaries. Double racks being thrown down behind this, stacking a lot of gold here for the musketeers. He could be going for mercantilism first, so he can go and send in the two factories and into 2 heavy cannons in quick succession, which I think is a very smart way to invest that coin, and you can certainly pay that coin back and then give you so much more momentum. Currently on 7 banks. Did research copy trade in the end. There's 1,000 gold. Not interested in the 500 gold for villager age up. He just wants the 1,000 gold. So heavy cannons being researched straight away. Whole bunch of skirmishes being trained. Musketeers likely to be called as well. Yes, they are. Here comes the 30 guard musketeers about to be called. Full batch of skirms as well. I think Optimus knows what's about to hit him, and he's actually going to go in for the push. He's going to try and take Mitoe now when he's just aged up, but surely if you see the consulate Stradiots, or the Stradiots from the church instead of regular mercenaries, you know that musketeers in the way. Now, I will say that Optimus is not committed into taking this fight. Oh, might catch some villagers though. Villagers do move back into the town centre area. He does see the army nearby. There's the heavy cannons, and that's now being seen by OptimusPrime. He doesn't see the heavy cannons, but the heavy cannons will reveal themselves to the explorer. That going down, and the falconets is getting pull tricked out there. They're like, nope, I'm running. Fast attack, boyars punching down quite a few villagers. One goes down, second was likely to go down, and third maybe under pressure as well. That's a good raid there from Optimus. Get in, get out. Musk still chilling in base, 3.6 speed. And yes, Mitoe may have a lot of score, may have a lot of gold, but I'm worried about the speed of these units now being reduced. It really takes the... Oh, where's the cannons gone? How'd they get there? Mitoe! Oh my god! No! Mitoe! Sorry I kind of missed that, but like, you don't expect Mitoe to arbitrarily send heavy cannons across the field with skirmishers and musketeers in base for free! Dude! How am I supposed to predict you, Mitoe? Like, that was not in the playbook. I'm as shocked as you are. Falconets moving to defend, couple Rolos defending. Evzone's a nice little trade here. 3 times heavy infantry, so really good versus these guard musketeers, even if they are only veteran stats. Oh, it's painful, and still no mercantilism to send the rest of these cards in quick order, so still having to wait, and it just feels like all the momentum is just gone. There is no momentum. We've got an artillery foundry, so I guess we're going to try and time this with maybe 4 heavy horse guns to try and recover position, but Big Bad Optimus, the magic is flowing out of him as we speak. The rest of those cows are being eaten, only with 3 vills though. I would actually like to see more vills going through the cows, making good use, but here comes the arsenal. There's the artillery foundry, so we're going to get a couple more falconets, it seems. Maybe artillery range here. Gunner's quadrant, but he needs that wood for falconet and for houses. Falcons unload onto the vills. Vills having to retreat. Oh, bounce shot there onto Musks. Luckily to not aggro the marauding musketeers behind this. And he gets 2 falcons. Not the end of the world. Cavalry cuirass, counter infantry rifling. That should allow the Ev zones to get a 4 times multiplier versus heavy infantry. Very, very strong. Optimus not quite thinking of going into the 4th phase, quite happy chilling. Some spies and some Rodleros just chilling on the top side, waiting for villagers to move out there. That's kind of cute. I like that play, actually, leaving a few villagers around the map. I have a nasty habit of using select all hotkeys to move, or select all units to move. That's not really what you want in this situation. Do you have the Sacred Bands? Big button available, ready to go. That'll be 8 Sacred Bands to spawn. That's really strong Musketeers. Goes to the front line, we'll get into the town centre and run away. So I need 2 going down. And Colferins as well, instead of heavy horse guns. I understand that. I think expecting the Colferin play to receive the heavy cannons, but now there's no heavy cannons. And the thing is, Colferins, yes, they are really only good versus, you know, other cannons. Apart from that, they don't offer too much. And these Everzones with 4 times versus Musketeers with their 4x, very, very smart play. Optimus making good use of the natives. Musks, the Falconets standing out of range here from the town centre, getting some good volleys on the units while they can. Oh, there's so many skirms going down. Now the Cole's in range of the Falcons, so they should get some good volleys here, but the economy's on Optimus' side, and he's just going to pull the Vills back for the time being. Well, meanwhile, Mitoe is on 7 bank, and the second factory is on its way behind this, currently on wood, looking to get the rest of his income. And I'm surprised that all those Falcons went down again. There was no real reason there for Optimus to lose those Falconets. But there are not too many blue cards remaining. It's only 16. So we're at the moment, we're under threat of getting cleaned up by cavalry. I do see a lack of anti-cav here from Mitoe. I'm unsure how my Optimus wants to play this engagement. If he wants to just slam in or keep poking away with some Ev zones. More Lancers being called, 4 Lancers. 10 Sacred Bands are on the big button if he wants to call for it. More Ev zones being trained behind. Has an Athos Monastery behind as well, which is actually quite nice. I don't think it's going to end extra techs in. It can actually call 15 Ev zones if he wants. That might be an interesting play. Royal Embassy being made in the back. I think he wants to keep this native production going to deal with this, you know, Musketeer skirmisher combo. Just going Boyar Ev zone behind. So let's look at the Boyars. They are looking pretty tanky with their high HP stat, 1 rate of fire, 544s, just a little bit more than a vet Huss, but relatively same attack if you factor in the rate of fire. So they essentially have a 50% damage output from that, which is about 15, 45, 43. Yeah, it's about, they are basically veteran Hussars, but they, more importantly, they're natives. They don't cost population. But that's about it to separate them from the Hussars. They are that close to them. The Catharsis technology is super strong here from Athos Monastery. 2.5 XP trickle if you are not attacked within 30 seconds. So it's good in treaty games, it's good in team games, it's good in early situations. Here you won't get as much of a reward from this as you'd may hope so. I don't think Optimus is looking to try and go for this, but finally getting some Reuters, some Halberdiers. There's a lot of stuff here from Mitoe. It's good to see Evzone's moving in to try and pick off, but you know, artillery can still do some massive damage versus these guys. These are only just regular skirmishers. They can't kill Falconet, Colferin, Royales. I feel a little bit more at ease with Mitoe's position now that both factories are on the field. He's now got a mixture of Colferins and Falconets, means he just can't. There's always a bit of a threat here from Optimus Prime. Does Opti have Unction in his deck? No Unction available. Quite a lot of extra random cards that made no sense, but here comes a big engagement here. Cavalry leading the charge. Evzone's 217 HP, tanking so much damage, but everything's just getting wedged in here. There was Cav Raiden at the back, that's quite cute, but triple veteran Reuters coming out from 3 stable. That's exactly what he wants. The anti-cav from the Halberdiers all gone. Evzone's ate them up, and the Lancers are ripping through the skirmishes behind. There's a lot of work here for the Reuters to do. Evzones, they do have multipliers versus Reuters, but they have a naturally low base damage. A couple Musks still in melee, and that's all I'm seeing is skirmishes going down. This at the end, though, maybe enough Reuters to hang on versus the cavalry, and then the factory economy to carry Dutch back into the game. But overall, it looks like Spain getting a good engagement and winning the majority of the fight. All the artillery pieces going down, all the skirmishers and musketeers going down. Now all it is essentially just Reuter spam, which Optimus can counter and pivot into with more Ev zones and skirmishers. But Optimus is just wanted to keep on attacking here, which I'm not too sure is to play. He's kind of already got the value from the engagement, but I suppose he has to hang on. He can outrun. There are boyers here trying to kill some Vils, but I think the Vils got moved in. Huss raid in base being pretty annoying. And Gold is also looking a bit lackluster in the middle of the map, so these Vils have to go somewhere. Obviously the outpost will run back. We do have 2 culverins, but there's no other artillery. Not train any regular skirmishes as well. This is quite awkward here from, you know, Optimus' point of view. Mitoe now, he's sending 8 skirms. I'm very tempted to cancel and go for the cavalry combat at this point. Obviously, he's nowhere near to the 50 Vil limit. Still losing Vils to these boyars in base. They're just running him ragged, getting a lot of damage done. There's Hussars moving out to... Oh, they might actually capture the skirms. If he Z moved across the map, they would have been picked up as well. So luckily to him, they're not. Artillery taking on the Caribbean Reuters. That's going to be a fight that Mitoe should win. Oh yes, the Hussars do turn around and fight. And the Reuters going back to try and save. Tempted for the going for the artillery kill as well. And it should get most of these down, but there's a lot of low HP Reuters here. A lot of low HP. And culverins may actually get some kills. And most of that's been defeated there by Optimus. 10 idle Vils in the town centre at the moment. Still only on 1 town centre as well. A lot of res coming in from the factories. Both of them currently on food. I mean, I suppose he is out of hunt, and most of the rest of the hunt is at forward of his base. Very difficult to defend. There are berries in base, which you may be tempted to go for, which he is on now. Things we've got to compare this now to Optimus Prime's eco. 68 villagers with a couple of fishing boats. Well, I suppose that number is included. It's got 14 sacred bands, if he wants to call them, and I'm surprised he hasn't called them already, but he needs to just do something now to get them involved into the action. These guys gathering 0.78. They have their amalgamation. A lot of skirmishers now ready to receive the Caribbean Reuters. More F zones being trained behind. And, oh, this is starting to look pretty... Well, the competition looking pretty good for Optimus. Interesting to see what the saloon's looking like for both players. Bosniak's available. And Manchu with Cannoneer supports. What I'm basically saying is if Mitoe understands that there's some Bosniaks available in the saloon, it may be tempting to go into a heavy cavalry pivot here. But the thing is that Optimus does have only a couple of letters, but mainly go in Skirm Huss to try and counter the Skirm Goon of Mitoe. And heavy cavalry go a long way. More Hussars on the raiding on the merchants while pushing the main army back. Rodleras underneath the Reuters being a nuisance, getting the snare in. Skirms and Evzones doing massive damage. Hussars trying to move to the side for raiding. Looks like Optimus is going to target this mine. Actually, we'll get rewards here. Hussars on the right side being tactically retreated. And yeah, we'll actually find the Vils, but I think he realizes if he gets out, he can keep some of those Hussars alive. Where are those Huss going? He does know that those villagers are here hunting, and he does see that all the Reuters on this side, so that's potentially opened up. Hussars going back in on the gold mine again. Optimus knows he can raid 2 places at once, and Mitoe can't defend them both unless he splits up his forces. Reuters do move in, but they're going to take some significant losses here from the skirmisher forces. And once again, the villager count here from Mitoe will be dropping. Massive raids on the tin mine though, so the food fields raid was huge, but the tin mine was even cheekier, coming back in after Mitoe had cleared out this originally. Big button now up to 16 sacred bands, looking to go up to maybe some more, 20 sacred bands. Maybe Optimus will never call them sacred bands. Maybe that's just there as his little his own personal entertainment and satisfaction. Haven't quite got the infantry breastplate here for the Rodaleras. That would be quite nice. He hasn't also sent in any infantry combat cards. Double. Oh my god. House of Trasmatara, or whatever it's called, in the 3rd age. He gets pivot into the 4th. That's really good. He's going to go for the guard skirmishers straight away here. Mitoe has gone into a bit of a heavy cavalry pivot. Right, just finding a lot of villagers out on the map, so a lot of kills potential. There's not a lot of anti-cav here from Optimus. He's only just aged up, so he's at a bit of a weak point. If this is the time for sacred bands, now is the time. He needs extra reinforcements here. But Rodler's doing a good enough job versus the veteran Hussars. These are not yet cav combat here from Mitoe, so there's still more damage he could go for. But the Hussar line is essentially break in, but now that the Reuters and the skirmishes have turned up as well, a lot of extra damage output here. Can Optimus hang on? It feels like there's a lot of stuff here for Dutch, and although potentially Optimus has the eco with the 66 villagers, Dutch just has the units now to deal with Spain. H4 dogs do come out though, 226 HP, 28 attack. Guard Skirm still alive, all the Hussars have gone down, and the veteran Hussars come out from behind. All the Reuters are starting to go down. There's still a decent amount of Guard Skirms here fighting onto the goons, and the defense advantage working in Optimus Prime's favour. But Optimus has resigned. The steam's run out. He's out of map. He's out of vills. The cows are gone. And Mitoe has managed to win that game. And from losing 2 heavy cannons mid-map to... I don't know. It seemed like Optimus just was kind of one step ahead most parts of the game. But Mitoe managing to bring that back with the upgraded units of the Caribbean Reuters and the Guard Skirmishes as the game went on. Good production with triple stable, double racks. Factories were probably the main decider in this one. A lot of bank eco as well, which did slow down the skirms. But I don't think the movement speed was the deciding factor, because most of the army in mid-game from Mitoe was the Reuters, and 6.52 speed is still respectable to move around. I don't like how Optimus tried to combine both a water play from his fishing boats and Naturous Age Up, Livestock Pen, and Cow Booming. Unsure how feasible that was together, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy more of a boomier play from Optimus, but I feel that, you know, currently there's a 2 Hacienda wagon which can spawn vills out when you put villagers on them. That is an incredible card in terms of how to get to 99 vills very quickly, and if Optimus went there, I think that would have added an extra layer of options there for the Spanish player to counter what Mitoe was doing, considering that Optimus had time, because Mitoe was going for his Age 4 fast industrial, heavy cannon, church musketeer push. Let's have a quick look at the post-game there. We'll see the villager count, because Mitoe was just losing it. All the vills towards the end, during those main fights, the the Boyars and the Hussars running through the economy, getting so many kills. And that cheeky tin mine raid at the end was also very nice to see. Optimus was starting to reduce the amount of villagers he trained. He did lose that second town centre in the middle of the map. He couldn't really afford to get another one on the top side and keep that villager production. I did actually find that town centre placement a bit weird there from Optimus. Most of the resources were top side of the map if you wanted to go for that. Looking at all the resources gathered, yeah, Mitoe edging that just about, especially with the bank economy and still hunting. But once the hunts ran out, yeah, it's close, and really the resource income was close from both players throughout the entire game. I think it was just having a fully upgraded army there from Dutch at the end was the main winning factor there, and probably military population would say the Dutch was ahead at the last fight in terms of military population as well, and that's what it felt like. And yeah, it was a good engagement. Quite often I felt that Optimus was using a lot of his forces just to kill villagers and get economic raids and damage done, instead of actually training them off cost effectively into the fight. And at the end of that first fight, after killing all the skirms and the artillery, Optimus kept on chasing in to Mitoe's army and lost more units than he really needed to. I think that was the start of when Optimus felt very exposed in terms of the military unit points. The age up to the 4th age, it needed to happen at some point, but Mitoe was able to capitalise that investment into technology at the expense of army size, and moves in to pick it up. Exciting game there between 2 players featuring in Esoc Premier League 4, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more of their practice games as it comes up. So GG's, well played for both, and I'll see you guys in the next game.